an overview of the home automation system that we are developing for SeaPods. So on the first level, we have our physical world hardware. So we'll have sensors, there's actuators and actors, and then controllers. So for example, sensors basically tell you about the environment. These could be flood sensors to detect water floods, motion sensors, temperature sensors, etc. Then actuators and actors are devices that change the environment, like light switches, dimmers, air conditioner, projector, speakers. Then we have controllers, which are devices that control the process and then report the status of things to a server. Okay, so here's some examples of different devices that we would have in these categories. Like gas sensor, NFC reader, multi-sensor, projector, gray water treatment controller, stuff like that. And then we have the digital world software, which there's a lot to this. There's automations, there's user interface, there's scenes, there's database, log, scripts, and then a lot of other things. We won't get into the whole thing, but this is just to give you a high-level overview. It goes into a lot of depth as you go into each of these individual areas. So automations basically will allow you to automatically respond to things that happen while you're reading or writing information from the world. For example, you open the windows if the temperature is greater than 30 degrees. So you basically have a temperature sensor, and it senses that you're 31 degrees or 32 degrees, then it automatically opens the windows. That would be an example of an automation. I'm not saying we're doing that, that's just an example of one. Then another example is to send a notification to your phone if smoke alarm activates in the house. Then another automation would be that you can open the window shades at a specific time, like 9 p.m. Turn on the lights if there's motion detected. So if you are getting out of bed at night and then the motion detector detects that someone's moving in the room, then it turns the lights on so you can see where you're going. And then, so there's lots of examples of these things. There's tons of very complicated and complex automations that can be done. And that's something we'll try to set up several templates and then allow you to do customization on your own pod if you would like to have your own custom automations. Then of course we have the user interface, and the user interface allows you to have like a touch screen that or a tablet or your phone that allows you to control the home with a nice user interface that this hopefully is simple and is easy to use. Scenes are some more complex combinations of like automations in a way. So for example, if you are sitting down to watch a movie, you can have a cinema scene, which would involve dimming the lights, closing the shades, lowering the projector screen, and starting the projector, and maybe even starting the movie. Maybe you just select the movie from an app, and then all these other things just automatically happen. And then there's a database where all the data that's collected is stored. So you can use that to track data or create graphs and analyze your power consumption and things like that. So if you want to know how much power you've used in a month, then this will give you a good idea. You can see how much water you've consumed, how much gray water, how much black water, and then you will be better able to make better choices in the future, adjust your habits to maybe match the amount of water that you're producing. Maybe because if you're always finding that you're short on water or energy, then you can see where where you're using too much and find ways of adjusting your habits. Hopefully there won't be limitations on how much water and how much energy there are, but this will be something we're learning as we go along. So there may be changes that need to be done to increase our available power and water and things like that. So yeah, I won't go through the whole thing, but that just gives you a good overview of the systems on the SeaPods that we are developing. These will not come standard on all models because this is a lot of there's a lot of development. So there's going to be options where you can add these things to whatever degree you would like to have them added.